I'm glad we found it.
Yeah.
If for no other reason than now we know the type of things to look for.
Yeah.
We know the type of snags we might run into.
Mm-hmm.
I still think, though, because when I was a kid, I don't know if it was I thought we had a metal septic tank that was above ground.
But it still has to drain somewhere.
Right. Well, you have to have a septic company come and drain your septic tank once a month or once every 6 months or something. It was like, what was it at that house in Madera?
Well, that was a well thing.
There was something else. I'm trying to remember what it was. Oh, you remember they had us putting that mixture in the septic tank? There was like that bug blast and bio blast or whatever it was.
To increase the natural decay of matter in there.
Yeah.
But it was still underground.
It was still underground, yeah.
You just feed it so that it breaks down faster.
Just got laid off in time for a nice Paul stream. You got laid off, bro? Ugh. That sucks ass. That sucks extra ass. I don't know how it works, man. Just me and Amelia were looking at a piece of land that looked great, but did a little digging and found out that it's a protected wetland and you can't have a septic because it's too much protected wetland. So I
don't even know if it was protected, but it was just like the
if they said wetlands,
they mean
protected wetlands. Yeah. Those like wetlands, those types of environments or whatever are the top thing that they preserve. Like, you know, when states will make certain rules for land based on its natural quality or whatever, that's the number one type on the West Coast is wetlands, because on any coastal region, wetlands are super important. It's like where all of this, you know, the carbon and all of that is created by the life cycle in a wetland washes out to the ocean, and it's a huge part of the ocean's nutrition cycle. Huge amount of the nutrition that's fed on by plankton and all that in the ocean comes to the ocean via wetlands. Super nutrient dense and rich areas, and so anytime that you're seeing something is restricted from being built on it because it's a wetland, that's what they're talking about. They're talking about like either federally or state protected wetlands. So that's just a death knell for that property. If there's not a way to do above ground septic in a way that would, I'm pretty sure that exists, but maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe it doesn't work on top of a wetland.
Well, I mean, it's just
like, there's like physical issues with the wetland, not just legal.
It's most of it is that those are just super dense, tree packed, nutrient rich areas that feed the ocean. Wetland. But yeah, that just kind of sucks. But I think it's probably going to behoove us as we look further inland. Maybe not all the way inland, but not touching the water. That seemed too good to be true.
Yeah.
It was like 5 acres with water access or close water access. I mean, I don't think any part of the property.
There was a well on it. Remember?
Well, there was no. I'm talking about access
to the water.
To the water, yeah. That seemed fucking amazing, but of course, there's got to be something.
But yeah, that's probably an issue with anything coastal.
Yep. It's going to be either so insanely priced that it's out of our wheelhouse, or it's going to have some shit like that. What if we just tell them we'll poop on the ground?
I don't think. Yeah, that might be another thing. I mean, I'm guessing whoever did that study was, trying to do something with it. They've been sitting on it since the 90s.
Yeah.
So I feel like if there was a way to just do an above ground septic, then they would have done it.
Somebody would have done it. You're probably right. Hello, white. What? Hello, white. Do I live in the woods? Yes. I live in a rainforest. You're about to be banned, friend. Paul, do you think you would be a good grandpa? I don't even know about parenting. Like, you got to be a pole-ass parent successfully. You got to successfully parent a zygote to breeding age. And then that's got to go through. And then you can be a hell no. I'm 3 steps from a grandfather. I wouldn't even know how to do that. I will tell you this. I'm a kick-ass uncle.
You could be a great uncle, too.
Yeah, I'll probably be a great uncle at some point. Hopefully not in the near future. But within the next 10 years,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be a great uncle, which is crazy. Yeah, the next decade, I'm almost guaranteed great uncledom. And who knows, if I can live another 30 years, I might be a great great uncle.
Yep.
Or a great grand uncle. How do they do that?
I don't know.
How does it do, like, if you're... That's crazy. Yeah, that's a great great uncle. That has to be a great great uncle.
I think the weirdest thing is, like, when your cousins have kids, and those are also your cousins somehow.
Yeah. I just don't know why, because, like, look, parent,
Yeah.
grandparent, uncle, grand uncle. Why not? Well, because it's different. So you're related in a different way. You're not the same as a grandparent. Grandparents have that direct lineage. You're an uncle from the same... Fuck it. I don't even... Fucking family shit is so stupid.
Apparently different countries have different levels, too.
Oh, really?
Like when we were at the point I kind of walked away from the Chinese thing, they differentiated between older sister and younger sister. They had 2 different words.
Oh. Yeah.
So, like, probably there's a whole different word for your younger sister's kid versus your older sister's kid.
Holy shit. That's wild. Oh. Is that Portuguese? Boa tarde. Boa tarde, amigo. Paz do Senhor Jesus. Is that Portuguese? I think that might be Portuguese. Boa instead of buenos. Think the internet is dead? Yeah. Well, for the most part, yeah. I think there's still real people scuttling around on the corpse, but I think it's dead, yeah. I think that social media is eating itself and becoming impossible to suss out who's real and who isn't. And yeah, I think it's not going, like, the next generation of kids is not going to use Twitter. They already don't use Facebook. Instagram is on the chopping block. It's like people are going to walk away from this shit because it makes no sense now. It's absurdity times absurdity. Yeah. Yeah. I understand dead internet. The idea that it's mostly bot interaction going on the internet. I get that. Yeah. There's just not anything new. That's the problem with social media, is that you like, right now social media is cool amongst 20, 30-year-olds, right? But it's not going to be cool to their children. Their children are going to watch their parents posting on Instagram and Twitter and shit, and they're going to go, that's fucking stupid. And there's nothing new coming out. It's like they roped this generation in with Vines. So that Vine thing that used to be part of Instagram or whatever,
I think it was a separate thing.
or was it its own separate thing? That created the modern social media environment that kids interact with, the TikTok environment. Shorts, the vertical streaming, the endless content that just blap, 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 right? And that, those people are going to have kids. And what are their kids going to look forward to? Like, what's the new innovation in social media? I feel like the idea well has run dry on social media. I don't think that, like, they're going to come up with the new best thing that everybody has to do.
I think it'll probably just go backwards. Like, forums will come back.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. I think that more likely than not, people will find these more, there's like kind of older ways of communication.
You can still do pictures and stuff on forums.
Yeah.
It seems like the younger generation is hella into going back to old styles and stuff.
Well, I mean, that's always happening. But yeah, analog stuff is back. The kind of like analog presentation is super popular with young kids. So we're talking like that fuzzy kind of VHS quality that people will force onto things sometimes, where you got the scan lines and vertical hold sometimes will not, all of those things are technological problems that were solved 40 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But, now they're, that aesthetic is super popular. I get a lot of social interactions with video games too as an adult. However, it's not real and it's isolating. You feel like to get your friends, you need to sign in instead of going outside. Yeah, I don't think I can really relate to that, but I can understand the feeling. Like, I can empathize, if not sympathize, right? I feel like I never really embraced the internet in terms of like all of my friendships exist out on it, and but I know a lot of people that are like that. You know what I mean?
You've had some.
Yeah, I've had internet friendships. It's just,
They were never your primary focus. But I've learned I also learned from my internet friendships that I can't hold up my end of the bargain. Like, I can't do that. I can't do internet friendship. So
I don't look for it now. You know what I mean? I don't allow myself to act on the impulse when I feel like I want to be friends with somebody. I'm like, eh. Because there's just something about it. It's like that unreality, I think, permeates.
And also, like, the context of how you meet someone, I feel like you don't really get to know them outside of that context, and when you do, you often don't like what you see.
I mean, that could happen too.
Yeah. Like, maybe you're real good buddies on a game, but then you try talking outside of that game, and then
Yeah.
it falls apart.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever really had that, but yeah. I mean, I see what you're saying. I've never really made a buddy in a game, I don't think. I've made buddies while gaming, but that's always in and out of game. You know, you play a match and then you're yakking and laughing in between matches or whatever.
But it's still a context that when you leave
Yeah.
it might not have.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah. I think that was probably the case for Jason and I. I think in the context of us just fiddling around and being fucking lame ass dudes playing a video game and just gassing each other up and trying to be inappropriate and make each other laugh constantly, we worked super well. Like our sense of humor and our comedic timing is exactly the same, you know what I mean? And a friendship grew because of that. But outside of that world where we're trolling and trying to gas each other up and make fun of each other and shit, outside of that world, we didn't work at all. Like, you know what I mean? I was not the type of person that he would want to hang around with, and he was not the type of person that I would want to hang around with. And all we had was this insanely simpatico sense of humor, this like really, really raunchy, inappropriate sense of humor, you know. And that's all that you really have to have when you're just playing Dota 2 and chilling in voice chat all night. That's what else do you need, you know what I mean? But if you take it outside of that, we just didn't really work well together. Try as we might, never really could make our personality conflicts click. And, you know, the only other time that I think I've had a really genuine, honest friendship on the internet was Beyond Fear. And, you know, I fucked that one up. That was my bad, you know. But once again, what it came down to was I was not able to provide what a friendship needs online. I just couldn't do it. You know what I mean? For my end of it. I'm not saying I'm to blame for, you know, it takes two to tango. But for my end of it, I just am not, I'm not emotionally available enough a person unless you're in my life. Like if I'm seeing you every day or I've seen you a lot and I know you in person and we're talking online, that's a different type of relationship than if I talk to you online every day, right? So if I have somebody that I've known for 16 years, right, but I only talk to them once a year, and a person I talk to every day, but I've never met them in real life, the person who I talk to every day that I've never met in real life means way less to me than that person I've known 16 years. And that's just the way people work, but I had to enforce that on myself. It was the same way with work. Like when I worked at Starbucks, of course, you're working with a bunch of college-age kids. Everybody's partying, everybody's having sex, everybody's doing drugs. You know, I would have loved to have participated in all of that. But I could not have walked in, looked them straight in the face, and been their boss the next day. So I just didn't do that stuff with them. I did it with my own friends. And I think those boundaries are, you know, it took me a long time to build them because I'm a very gregarious guy. When I was in high school, middle school, and stuff, I had 20, 30 close friends. I mean, I was just like that dude. And, that ain't the case anymore. I have friends. I manage the friendships I have. I'm not recruiting. Let's put it that way. It's different though. It's like I might chill with you and like you, right? I might think you're hella funny or a chill person or, an insightful person. It's just I can't give you the designation of friend. Bro nuts. Un petit peu. That bird is so angry sounding. Doesn't he sound angry? Just so funny. Is there a culture of the French dissing the Brits and the Brits dissing the French? And if so, is it all in good spirits? I don't know, man.
Gotta ask them.
Yeah, I mean, I do know, like, one of my exes lived in France for a while. I don't remember them telling me anything about, like, an abiding hatred of England or anything like that. So I would say you'd have to ask people that live there because I'm not sure. Paul, isn't friends that you create often a function of convenience? You are friends with someone because you go to the same place. It's the same place you were friends with it, not the people. I think I see what you're saying. You're saying like
real life has context.
Right. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I mean, it's a function of, like, oftentimes friendships are a function of necessity. It's like you're friends with a dude that you work with because you see each other every fucking day, right? Or you're friends with somebody you're in school with because you're seeing each other every day, right? Friends with somebody that you play Magic the Gathering with every fucking Wednesday night because you see each other every Wednesday night, right? And if you took, what you're saying is if you removed that place, would there still be a friendship?
Yeah, a lot of times there isn't.
Right.
A lot of times after school, people fall off.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. People go their separate ways after school, and sometimes it's not right away. Like my group of friends, it's not like they completely shattered to the four winds, but I'd say by the time I was 20 or 22, most of that big giant friend group I had in high school was living elsewhere, moved on. Some of them got clean, you know what I mean? Like people kind of walked their own paths in life, and it didn't lead back to the same source, you know.
But at the same time, there's people that you knew in school that you still talk to as well.
Yes.
You think there's a better chance maybe than having that real life context extend than an online context.
Yes. Why do humans like sweets and cakes and treats?
It's just evolution, baby.
Yeah. It's evolution, baby. Yeah. Sweet things are calorically dense. People that have a calorically dense food source survive the winter. Admire me, admire my home, admire my son, he's my clone. Why don't I only just notice how cool your jacket is? It's a dark jacket. It's hard to tell how cool it is, but this is a cool ass jacket. Somebody told me the name of this pattern, and I can't remember it now. I think TJ was talking out of his butt on onion nuggets yesterday about handling spicy foods. Yes, I think both of them were talking out of their butt. Like I said, I fed Scotty a Serrano chili, which is the hottest pepper I've ever eaten, right? Well, that's not true, but it's the hottest pepper I can eat without wanting to go to the hospital. And Scotty, he handled it, but he was weeping and sweating and grousing and complaining, and he drank about fucking 8 gallons of water trying to kill that heat. And that's a Serrano. That's something you pick up at the grocery store, bro, and you cook with it. You know what I mean? That shit right there. I don't know, man. And look, dude, I'm not claiming I'm Mr. Spicy Peppers. I'm not. I know my limits, bro. But I can tolerate spice levels that a lot of people think are like over the top, too hot, too much, right? Like I said, I'll grab a jalapeno right off the grill and just eat it. You know what I mean? It's one of my favorite things to do. I love that. You know what I mean? A lot of people won't eat a jalapeno. Jalapenos are not like the hottest pepper. They're not even close. But, you know, I know that, like, I will eat these 3 hot peppers that a lot of people won't. Jalapeno, habanero, serrano. In that order, from mildest to hottest. And that's it. Habaneros are between jalapenos and serranos in terms of heat. Serranos are hotter than habaneros. Jalapenos can wildly vary in spiciness. This is true. You don't realize that because most people eat pickled jalapenos. The pickling process, the brining process, leaches a lot of heat out of jalapenos, right? Obviously.
Kind of like homogenizes.
Yeah, and it homogenizes the heat. It spreads the capsaicin around and homogenizes it amongst the jalapenos. But when you have a pepper garden, you pick a fresh jalapeno. You could get 2. And I'll tell you how you know there's going to be heat in a jalapeno. Pick that jalapeno, right? There's 2 ways you can tell that jalapeno's extra hot without having to do anything. Number 1, look at the surface of it and look for 2 things. Does it have dark green streaks? Is it bright green all the way around, or does it have dark green streaks in the bright green? If it has dark green streaks, you're looking at a hot motherfucker. Because those dark green streaks that you're seeing on the outside of the pepper, that is the, what do they call it? The placenta of the pepper. So if you can see those dark green streaks on the outside, you know you've got a pepper that has a lot of placenta. That means a lot of seeds. That means a lot of capsaicin. That means a hot ass pepper. Number 2, you pick a jalapeno and up near the stem, it's red. Like it goes from green to brownish red. That's a hot motherfucker. That means that stem cap is supporting a lot of nutrient flow to the placenta of the pepper. And so you're getting like a lot of oil, which is the capsaicin in the pepper that makes it hot. So that's how you tell, right? You want to eat a fresh jalapeno and not die? Bright green. Look for a bright green one. That means it's got a tiny placenta in there. It'll taste good, but it's not going to blow your head off.
And I think a lot of people maybe think they handle more jalapeno because they're preparing them by cutting out all the seeds and placenta too.
Yeah, yeah. Well, a prepared jalapeno, you cut it open, and a lot of people will gut it and take the whole placenta out. Yeah, when you're cooking with them, especially like when you're making salsa, not so much. It depends though on what the salsa recipe calls for.
And you know what your personal preference is.
Right.
Like some people are probably going to gut it.
Right.
Even if...
I chop all the way up to the stem and dice everything, seeds and all. That all has to go in there because that's all flavor. What is it about chili and peppers that makes food better? It's just spice, man. That's all it is. It's just novelty. It's you know, you could take a piece of meat and throw it on some hot coals, right? And it is gonna burn and char and cook, and it'll taste pretty good. You know what I mean? It's not gonna be awful. You take just a little bit of salt. You hit it with a lick of salt before you eat it. Blows the flavor up, creates novelty and dissonance in the mouth, and you know, it makes everything seem juicier and tastier, and it stimulates those salivary glands, right? Is that a jelly donut, Private Paul? Jesus Christ. Carolina Reaper is my cap point. Bro, you're an absolute madman, bro. Reaper is 1,000,000 Scoville. So we looked it up last night. The Serrano I'm talking about, between 15 and 30K Scoville. 15 and 30K. Jalapeno is probably 8 to 10K Scoville, right? That's 1,000,000 Scoville, homie. That's why when they started talking about, we're going to get the hottest pepper, you give me a fucking chili, give me a ghost pepper, give me this. Dude, you're talking 1,000,000 Scoville, homie. I ate a Carolina Reaper in high school before we had to run for gym that day. It was filled with yeah. Yeah. Carolina is insane. And they were talking about eating reapers and scorpions, and it's like, okay, well, you put that in your mouth and chew it up. There, but for the grace of God, go I, because I ain't doing it. Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, I got you. Yeah, if you're just like, if you're grinding them up, drying them out, making spices with your marugas or whatever you got, your bootlas, chocolate bootla, cool. You know, I mean, that's gonna light you up, but it'll impart that flavor. But if you're just talking about taking a raw pepper that's ripe off the plant and munching that, no, thank you. I know better. I had a chance to. Dude, I went to this crawfish boil in Louisiana. This dude had this amazing house. It was a house up on sticks, obviously, and he lived right on the river, boat launched right onto the river. And his whole back porch was lined with pepper plants. And I recognized some of them. He had scorpions, and he had bootlas and chocolate bootlas, and I was like, "Whoa, man, you got a lot of cool peppers here." He's like, "Yeah, man, eat what you want." I was like, "No, thank you. I know better. I know what these are." I love your idea about the female predator proving herself. Make that movie now. I know, right? Huntress, predator, huntress. No dialogue in the film. She's alone on this planet. I eat fresh Carolinas you don't even want to touch with bare hands. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, if you cut open one of these peppers and you put your fingers on it and there's any kind of like cut on your finger, bro, you're on fire. If you get a little bit of that capsaicin on your finger and you don't know it and you rub your eye, bro, your eyeball's about to swell up. Is it ever important to stop and ponder your entire existence? Well, yeah. Every day, every single day. I mean, what else is there to do but ponder? Yeah, if you're missing out on the pondering of your own existence, you're missing out on the spice of life, my friend. Who would you have direct that? Gennady Tartakovsky. I, I don't know. I don't know about the director. I want to direct it. Fuck Gennady Tartakovsky, dude. I want to direct my own movie. I think I'm the best director for it because I know, well, I don't know shit about directing a movie, but I know the vision. I can see the film in my head. I'll learn all the other shit. I'll hire like, directors of photography and stuff to tell me all the shit. How to get done the shot, and I will make sure the shot gets done. And then there you go. That's what it is. Predator Huntress. The pitch was a female predator huntress is disgraced and faces exile to a planet where her only path to redemption is to kill an alien queen. So it's a planet that the predators have designated as like a nature preserve where they breed alien xenomorphs, right? And so the only things on the planet are going to be xenomorphs and the livestock animals that they throw to the xenomorphs so that they can reproduce. And the only way that she can redeem her honor and rejoin her species is to successfully hunt and kill an alien queen using only her gear and her wits. No dialogue in the film, with the exception of maybe some subtitled dialogue at the beginning when she's being exiled. It's a solo run, like one being in the woods with their tools and their wits against impossible odds. Practical effects wherever practical. Not to, no pun intended, but yeah. Practical effects wherever practical. Yeah. What is the cup size on this alien? I don't know. What do you guys think? Because I go two ways on it. I feel like having a lithe huntress makes sense too. But I also think having like a big busty huntress makes sense. I just don't know. I don't want it to be comical. Like, we can't have it be comical. Like, it's got to be taken seriously. And also, would a female predator even have breasts and nipples and stuff? Because look at their mouths. Like, they ain't suckling with those mouths. That's not what that mouth is designed to do. That's a crazy mouth. Do our vices define our personality? As in, hypocrisy is a particularly sinister vice. I, I mean, I don't know. I think your personality might define your vices, not the other way around, right? I think people with certain personality types are drawn to certain vices, maybe. I don't know. That's a good question. A Joey pouch. Yeah, see? That's what I'm thinking a predator might have. Like, a predator might birth a little worm thing that crawls into a pouch in its stomach. And that could be, oh, we could put that in. Plot twist. She's pregnant. Oh, snap, dude. Plot twist. She's pregnant and she has to raise her child on this planet, too.
You know what I
Oh,
think would be cool?
what?
Like those toads where they have little holes for their tadpoles. It was like in a hole in her back instead of a pouch.
Oh, yeah. Like she spawns them on her back.
Yeah. And then you, like, she turns around, you can see its little face going, meh.
Yeah. Oh, yes. That's a good twist. Well, it sets up this like mother versus mother thing, which was what made the alien Queen versus Ripley so compelling. Because the unspoken subtext between them was like at the that's such a brilliant scene when Ripley walks in and sees the clutch of eggs, right? And the alien queen is there. The alien queen looks up at her and shows her face, and Ripley fires up the flamethrower but doesn't shoot it. And the queen backs off, right? And Ripley is there for Newt, who she has adopted as her child. She's treating Newt as she would treat her own. And she's standing there. The alien has threatened her clutch, right? And now Ripley is threatening the alien's clutch. And there's this moment of motherhood between the two of them. You see? You see? Brilliant, brilliant subtext in the movie. Have you ever thought about writing a script? That is my problem, man. My eternal problem is that I am 100% an idea guy, man. I'm an idea guy. Listen, if I was a script writing fool, I'd probably be a multi-billionaire by now, man. I'd probably be a mogul. But you know what? I'm not. I'm an ideas man. That's what I need. I need Hollywood to recognize my genius with no script at all. Just go like, you know what? Let's give this guy money. Let's get him a script writer. Let's get him a fucking producer. Let's get him set up. Director of photography, camera people, and let's turn him loose with about $20 million and see what he makes.
Let him cook.
Yeah, let him cook. Let him cook. That's what I need. Right? I can't do that shit. I'm not a script writer. I don't know. I could probably do it, but I don't wanna. I don't wanna.
I'm kind of in the same boat. Like, I have ideas like that land search. I was like, there's just got to be a better way of, like, really honing in on the zoning and stuff
Yeah.
in each of these, like making it easily accessible
Yeah.
on the site. But like, I ain't a coder.
Yeah. What are you gonna do with that idea? You know,
Someone
Johnny
could probably make a lot of money, but it ain't me.
Johnny Fat Cash shows up with a sack of cash for Idea Man Paul's ego. Yep. That's it, dude. I just need some bored ass billionaire to be scrolling through lives, right, one day. And he hears me pitching one of these crazy ideas and he goes, you know what? I'm gonna let this guy cook. Here's $1 billion. The catch, all you can do with it is support yourself and make movies. That's it. You're not allowed to buy luxury items. You're not allowed to fucking. You can do that with the profits from your films. But that $1 billion is locked away for movie making. That's all I need. And I'll say, yes, sir. I don't know what the first movie I would make is, though, in this fantasy scenario, because I've got a lot of good ideas, man. I want to do a.
You want to be a pet of a billionaire, basically.
Yes.
You want him to make you a little
Yes.
hobbit hole to live on his
Yes.
property.
Like that movie, The Toy, where it's a really inappropriate movie with Richard Pryor, where there's this rich white kid and he has everything, and and then he meets Richard Pryor, who's there to do some work on the property or whatever, and likes him.
Mm-hmm.
And he tells his dad, I want him. And his dad like basically makes a deal with Richard Pryor, like, you're his shadow now. You like, whatever he tells you to do, you got to do it, and I'll give you $1 million a year or whatever. And yeah, so I basically need that. I basically need just like a bored billionaire.
Or a bored billionaire's kid.
Or a bored billionaire's kid. I want to see that movie. You know what I mean? That'll work too.
Yeah.
Please clap. Yeah, Please Clap is up there. Predator Huntress, I think, is a really good idea. I like Jason versus the Nazis. I think that's like, the time is ripe for this movie. Oh my God, it like when I pitched the movie, it was brilliant. Now it's dodeca brilliant. Jason versus the Nazis would blow the box office's balls right in the dirt. And I just don't understand. The people that own these franchises seem content with them just languishing in nothingness. Jason versus the Nazis, bro. We could call it Friday the 13th, 1941. Friday the 13th, 1941, dude. Just comma, 1941. That's the movie. Do you have an original idea? Yeah. I have, well, I don't. But yeah, I have an idea about an elevator, like a chamber film where people are trapped in an elevator that they can't exit. Oh, dude, Jason versus the Nazis would break box office records for a horror franchise film. Number one. It would probably be the biggest horror sequel of all time. Number two. It would piss off half of America and they'd go see it. It would make half of America gleeful and they'd go see it. It would cause constant arguments. It would become an immediate cult classic. I'm telling you. And all it would take is just this stupid ass bored billionaire or millionaire. Like, if dude's got $600 million, give me fucking 15 of it. And I'll give you Jason versus the Nazis. And we'll see. Would you consider Pitch Wars for a wheel spin on Onion Nuggets? Yeah, that would be fun. The Shaft is a pretty fucking crazy movie. The only movie that's kind of like the movie that I'm thinking of is this movie called Devil, where a bunch of people are trapped in the elevator, and the conceit is one of them is the devil, but nobody knows who it is. I don't want to have a religious overtone, or at least I don't want to like force a religious overtone into my elevator. I want it to just be some sort of eldritch being that consumes people. What? Ugh. George Washington, the father of America, was inaugurated in a bright pink suit and high heels. I just felt like relaying that information to everybody because it's true. What cosmic horror concept terrifies you the most? The Dark Jungle. I have this idea, I don't know if it's a movie, but our radio waves slowly decaying reach a point in deep, dark space and awaken some beast that just waits to hear for a civilization so that they can go farm it, right? Some sort of spider thing that's just like balled up out in space, and then it hears a radio wave. And it's like, they start coming for Earth. That sort of thing. I don't know what that is. An RPG called Look Outside came out recently with a similar premise. Neat. Neat. All right, I'm done. I'll see you guys later.